Hi, it's Jesse. Thanks again for joining us. In today's video we're going to be talking about shooting from the hand. There are a lot of different ways to shoot, and to get a really good sense of how to do it, regardless of which technique you're using, whether you're shooting from a twine or whether you're using your hand or your foot or your knee or some other part of your body to shoot your rope dart or your meteor, this is really where you capture the basics of it. So before we get started, there are a few rules that you need to know about shooting. When you're first starting out, only shoot from a reverse spin. So to illustrate this, if I'm going to be shooting to my left side here, the meteor should be rising on the side to which I want to shoot. Okay? So I can shoot out that way and pull the meteor back. What I'm not going to do is use a front spin like this and then try to shoot from there. Okay? That's not going to work for me. The reason is really simple actually, and that is that you can only, well, when you're first starting out, you can only successfully let the meteor fly in a straight line from a reverse spin. If you try to shoot it out from your front spin, then your meteor is going to fly in a really big arc, like that, or it's just going to nosedive towards the floor. So that's why we only shoot from a reverse spin. The next thing that you need to remember is that after you shoot your meteor out, you're going to retrieve it with your anchor hand. So you don't want too much slack like this hanging in your rope, because when you go to pull, first you're going to have to police up all of this slack before you can get to your meteor. Now, this is assuming that you don't use all this slack when you shoot. If you're going to shoot and you use the full length of your rope, then you can pull it back, as long as there's no slack in the rope. But if there is slack in the rope still after you shoot, then you're going to have to use your anchoring hand, and you're going to have to police up that slack so that when you pull it back, the running end of the rope is taut. So all of this is a non-factor. Only hold the rope from the area which you're going to use it from. So if we're shooting it this way, just as a demonstration, if I have slack in my rope and I try to shoot it this way, when I go to pull it back, it doesn't really work for me. Okay? But if I hold on to my excess slack, when I shoot my rope dart out and I pull it back, it comes right back to me successfully. So those are the two things that are really most important: shooting from the reverse spin, and then also making sure that you have all the slack out of your line before you retrieve your meteor. So let's talk about when to release. From your reverse spin, you want to release when the tip of your rope dart or your meteor is pointing towards your target area. If you want to shoot straight out in front of you, then you're going to release your meteor when it's straight out in front of you. If you want to aim higher, then you're going to release your meteor when it's higher, and if you want to aim lower, you're going to release it lower. It's kind of like using a slingshot. You just aim and release. Okay? So, keeping a nice grip with your anchor hand, making sure your slack is out. I'm going to shoot straight to the front. I'm just going to wait for my meteor, and I can slow this down. I'm just going to wait for my meteor to get about level, and then I'm just going to loosen my grip with my lead hand, my spinning hand. So you don't need to completely let go of the rope. You only need to loosen your fingers just enough so that the rope slides through it nice and cleanly. There are other shoots that we can do later on where it's completely okay and sometimes necessary to let go of the rope entirely and then grab it again in the air. This is not one of those times. Alright, so after you finish shooting, it's when you retrieve the head of your meteor, your rope dart, after your spin, you can do one of two things. You can either go into another spin or you can go into another shoot. And that's what we're going to talk about in our next video on shuttling, is going from a shoot from one side immediately into the next. Okay? And we'll also have some more drills that you can practice for shooting. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.